split up the third line that was on fire just so that they could put Ryan Reeves back in.
Just so Ryan Reeves can fight Garnet Hathaway because Jake McCabe got a concussion.
And did it to himself.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was fully on him. He could have left it alone. Anyways. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line, presented by Offside News. I gotta get that in there because my name's Emma, and I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host Randy. And we're
Spoilers! Oh my god! Your lovely co-host Randy?
What am I?
Yes,
Chopped
Randy.
liver. Right, well, the divorce is
I was
public,
thinking a sentence ahead. Marcie's here. She's always...
Don't worry, guys. We love Marcie.
This is unbelievable.
And we have Randy here. I was going to say we're on a roll with the guests here because we have our lovely Offside Leafs beat reporter, Miranda Dagley, or Randy, colloquially known in the Offside work chat and among inner circles.
My god. I cannot believe you just did that to Marcie.
I'm so hurt. I'm trying to be brave, but on the inside I'm crying.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been a week. This is what happens when the Leafs win 4 games in a row. I lose my mind.
Yeah.
This is also what happens when it's Mentor's trip. You go down the rabbit hole.
Marcie just taking a sip of beer. Is this what the podcast is this week? Is this what it is this week?
Yeah.
This is like the sit-down conversation where we tell you we're actually getting divorced.
I'm cracking a cold one with the boys for this podcast.
Oh, all right, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. My beer's in the other room. Hold on.
We're doing a
wonderful.
teapot review because Marcie, the British one, has overtaken the hockey podcast with a teapot review.
Oh, perfect.
This
At least
is
it's not a
amazing.
movie. It's not a movie review. At least be glad of that.
No, usually when I have to leave, it is a what I've logged on Letterboxd recently that I then edit out.
It's disgraceful. I'm being silenced on
Yeah.
my own show.
Oh my god. Let me pull up some
yeah.
notes, because God knows I have them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wrote mine today, so they get increasingly longer, and more in depth as the games become closer to actually today happening. But yes, Joseph Woll starts against the Islanders, against Ilya Sorokin. Means nothing, but they're good 2 goaltenders. Also, as well, I've written down that John Tavares is still getting booed. Because sure.
Honestly, it amazes me that they keep that bit up.
It's I'm almost more impressed by the dedication. It's been 7 years.
Yeah.
There comes a time for a bit to die, and I think that time was quite a while ago, and they just haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
This game, I'm going to be honest, this one happened on New Year's Eve at the same time as 10 other hockey games, kind of, sort of.
No,
also
no.
the fucking Winter Classic. It all happened the same day. Are we doing the different Islanders game?
We're doing the Bobby McMahon one. That was actually
there's 2 Islanders games back to back, which is evil on its own right.
We already talked about the New Year's Eve Islanders game on last episode when we had Arya on, because she actually watched the game, unlike the 2 of us.
Good. I didn't watch it either, so thank God we're not talking about that one.
No,
see how you can get
Bobby
games
McMahon
confused when you sit there and plan a schedule like the MLB does. Why are we playing the same teams back to back all the time?
Oh yeah, no, because why are we doing this? It only leads to either someone's head getting blown off or Bobby McMahon scoring 2 goals.
I'll take it if Bobby keeps it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say also as well, Joseph Woll was really good. Apparently he had a .970 save percentage.
Woo! Yay! Yay! Good for
Yay!
him.
Huge day for the jersey on my wall.
God bless.
Yeah, I will say also as well, this one was this game though was the same night as the Canada-Czechia quarterfinal for the World Juniors game.
And that's why I didn't watch that one either.
I was watching two games at the same time. And the surprisingly enough, the Leafs game was the more calming game to watch because Canada-Czechia made me want to move to a yurt. Actually, no, running inside joke at Offside is we move to yurts before we do anything more drastic.
Yeah.
Although I think by the end of the Canada-Czechia game, Casey and I were threatening to take more drastic measures.
It happens. No. It happens to the best of us, especially when it's to a small European country.
Don't they?
Yay, Czechia! You guys are doing so well right now. I'm so proud of you, little Czech boys. Avery would kill me if I said anything less of the Czech. I'm so glad that they win things now.
I just, I love, when, yeah. Anyways, Bobby McMahon had 2 goals, 6 shots on goal to lead the Leafs. I really do. Wordsmith of sorts. It's why Offside hired me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we pay you all of $0.
Exactly. Why I can't get fired.
We can't fire you if we don't pay you anything. God, that's true.
Exactly. But if someone does want to pay Offside News something, information in the show notes.
Real.
We shouldn't be allowed to do these anymore together, the 3 of us. Because remember the last time we did, the Amulet news came out like 20 minutes after we finished recording?
Oh my God.
Oh boy, I wonder what's going to happen.
Matthew Knies is going to announce that he got one. That's what's going to happen. Because he's been playing like a madman.
Yeah.
Scoring literally every goal
John
shy
Tavares.
of Bobby Man. Bobby Man?
Bobby Man.
So I kicked out the Mick after the new sponsorship. Had to call it.
The McDonald's one?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We'll get there.
Yeah, McMahon led the Leafs that game in shots on goal with 6. Which for the Leafs is like a full period's worth at this point. That was a joke.
So bad. I love this team. I'm pulling up the hockey stat cards. I gotta see what the hell that game looked like again.
Oh boy.
It literally was. Everyone else was skating cardio, everyone else was playing defense except for the third line who was not playing defense.
I love.
And that's because they don't know how to, because they're compromised of Max Domi and Nick Robertson, who most notably cannot play defense.
Indeed.
Oh dear God. Sorry.
Oh, was no one playing defense, or was?
No, it's actually not that bad. Sometimes I look at the stat charts these days and I go, oh God, what has happened? Because it's just William Nylander like in the pits. This one's not that bad. He's only the 2nd worst player on the team. Yay! Second only to Mitch Marner.
Yay!
Which is really funny. It's like, okay, so the game scores for this one were too bad. Bobby had a 2.44 and Willie had like a 0.29, like negative 0.29, and Mitch had a negative 0.43. So this game wasn't too bad. So truly, all in all, the Leafs were just okay.
And like they beat the team that does not have an identity. So like I could not tell you anything about the way that the New York Islanders play besides, hey, they have Elias Sorokin and people forget that he's really, really good.
Sometimes I think about how they have Pierre Engvall from us, signed him to this crazy deal, and then put him through
7
waivers
years?
earlier this year. They put him through waivers. But then
been on
he's
waivers
back.
twice since he signed. He's been put on waivers twice since he signed that 7-year contract, and every single time it happens, I laugh at Lou Lamoriello because, like, you idiot, you dumb
It gets
dumb
funnier
man.
every time. It gets funnier every fucking time.
Like,
The poor giraffe. He's gonna be
No,
a dad
it just-
though. So congrats to Pierre Engvall family.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's a dad now?
he's going to
Didn't
be a
he,
dad.
like, didn't he like just get engaged? Like, wasn't that last off season? And it was really scary because he had just recently shaved. So, like, in the picture announcing that he got engaged, he was like bald, not bald, but like baby face. I can't say bald.
Well, he's no longer face bald, and he's going to have a child. His
but he
partner
still
is
has
with
to be
child.
He still has to be face bald because he plays for the New York Islanders.
Yeah, he's probably still face bald. Oh, Lou Lamoriello.
But like the thing is now is like too many hockey players are going bald. It's like a whole like Stephanie's ponytail situation.
Oh my god, he is gonna be a dad.
As if I was lying.
You never know.
I don't know. All I saw is like Matt Barzal is back to being bald now. That's something going on with the Islanders.
Oh yeah, he's like head bald.
Yeah, he's like head bald. And also as well as like there's rumors that like Leafs are gonna try and get Brock Nelson, which like we don't need a scary looking man.
Please
Why?
no.
Why?
I find him
Why?
so
Not
annoying.
Brock Nelson. No. I hate that man so much. It's like unfunny. Why does he look like that?
Like, maybe if he's allowed to grow out facial hair, he will look better, but also he looks like the kind of person who's incapable of growing facial hair.
No,
But then
you know
again,
who
Mitch
he looks
Marner
like?
exists and
I was
like
gonna say,
tries.
do you think he looks like Mitch?
No, Brock Nelson, I have never been able to like fully actually look him like in the eye picture. Because he looks too much like my field hockey coach from when I was like 12, who was a lesbian. But he still looks too much like her. And it's really off-putting because she was really mean to me.
See, I think he looks like Princess Diana in the way that Wayne Gretzky does. But like if you like fucked up Princess Diana. Like there's a combination of like Wallace and Gromit. And Wayne Gretzky as Princess Diana.
You leave
That's
Princess
Brock Nelson.
Diana alone.
I was gonna say, I was like, if what I did at the start of the show was insulting, you just did something worse. You
I
brought
love
Princess
Princess
Diana into the...
This is nothing on her.
You leave the people's princess alone.
She's
I'll
my
have you
people's
know.
princess too.
I'll have you know
I
my
love
grandma
Princess
has
Diana.
like commemorative plates with her face on them.
In grade 3, okay, so
Your
Avon's a
grandmother would
company
be the
in
type of
Canada.
person.
She did love Diana.
So Avon is a Canadian company that sells complete bullshit to, it's kind of like a pyramid
It's an
scheme,
MLM.
but like Tupperware kind of.
It's the amulet. It's the amulet, but for white women.
But for white women. So when I was in grade 3, they would always like come to your door and just like knock and see if you wanted anything. And there was
like,
a beautiful
Jehovah's Witness.
Yes, but with bath products and jewelry. And they had a replica version of like the Princess Diana, Princess Kate engagement ring. The blue one with the ring of diamonds. And I had one, and my little hockey boy crush in grade 3 thought it was the best thing ever.
Why are you cosplaying Princess Diana?
I was actually cosplaying Princess Kate.
It's like, yeah, no.
Because it was the same time as the royal wedding between her and William.
The royal wedding. Yeah.
Oh,
that
God.
like started at that like Canadians woke up at 5 a.m. and went to Tim Hortons to go watch said royal wedding. I
literally
this
remember
news
watching it
broadcast.
at school.
Oh.
Yeah, no, like
This was a major
people
thing.
ride home. Yeah. Because it was like the first like actual true proper wedding since like Princess Diana. Because we're not gonna count Camilla because that was weird.
No, we don't claim Camilla.
Neither do we.
This is an
No, we
official
don't either.
from the fourth line is making an official statement.
What are you doing? Are we gonna get in trouble?
No, it's fine. No one likes Camilla.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
She's an enemy of the state.
She's a vilified woman in power.
12 Dancing, the Barbie movie, 12 Dancing Princesses?
Yeah.
Camilla's the evil, the aunt, cousin, stepsister, whatever the villain.
Yeah.
So in summary, Brock Nelson might be Camilla.
Hey, look.
I've been staring at a picture of him for this entire conversation.
Look, Leafs keep talking, they keep talking about Leafs need a new 3C for the playoffs because, yes, Max Domi is not the answer. He never has been the answer, and he never will be the answer.
Callie Yarncroke.
Yeah. Oh, no. He still has sports hernias, remember?
Yeah, from, last year.
We may never see him again.
I think he's Mark Stoning. I'm gonna say it. Callie Yarncroke is our Mark Stone.
The difference is it's Callie Yarncroke, unfortunately, is not Mark Stone.
No, he's kind of mid. Love him to bits.
Yeah.
He's so mid.
But they keep talking, and look, we've been talking about acquiring a 3C, and I think Yanni Gourde has been brought up since the beginning. I have found out today, I found out, and you can go back through the Offside work chat, that Yanni Gourde is from Quebec.
Yanni Gourde is a massive Quebecer. Yanni Gourde was my favorite Tampa Bay Lightning player back in
why does his hometown
the year
have
that
three
they
hyphens?
won their
He's
second
so
cup.
Quebec.
I love him.
I didn't know he was Quebec until I'm I see there's the video of him and his daughter reading out the lines for the Victoire,
and she
has
I'm perfect
why did
French pronunciation.
And I'm why is this? He plays in Seattle. There's not really a whole lot of French education going on in Seattle, and so I look up where he's from, and the town he's from, which, by the way, is not even a town, it's a parish municipality. I looked it up on Wikipedia. It has 3 hyphens, and it's closer to Maine than it is to anywhere else.
I love Yanni Gourde with my whole soul. Yanni Gourde is a very special soul. Sweetie Bobidi, if I do say so myself. 5'9", undrafted. That's my favorite type of player.
Right in my pocket.
He'll fit.
We need him. He's a great
he will fit.
Penalty killer. He will score on the breakaway. Yanni Gourde, if you need it, he's got it.
You're telling me we could put him with Connor Dewar, and the two of them will do the most whack ass shit on the penalty kill that you've ever seen.
And Bobby McMahon.
Put
him on a line with Bobby, Yanni, and Connor Dewar, and that is the killer third line of the league. This is my official statement on the matter. If you want him to be protected physically, put Steven Lorentz on it with him. Life changing.
Yeah. We can talk about Toronto and Boston. Joseph Wool against Jeremy Swayman. Those two know each other quite well, and I'm digging myself into a hole every time I say something here.
They know each other quite well.
They do. They played together for Team USA. Yeah. Where did Swayman go to college again? I don't remember. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyways, they fist bumped pregame during warm-ups. That was cool. That was.
I always forget that Sway's from Alaska.
He's from Alaska, but I think he went to college in Boston.
Yeah.
Or New England-esque.
Maine.
Was he? I should have known this. This is a disservice to Bry.
Maine. The Maine Black Bears.
Apologies, Bry. I knew Jeremy Swayman went to Maine the whole time.
I was I did know that it was somewhere. I was it can't be Boston. That's too on the nose. Oh, and he's from Alaska. Oh, what a sweetheart. Oh, yeah. I do love you, Jeremy Swayman.
I will say also as well, Austin Matthews returns to the lineup from.
Yay!
Well, it's like we're
God
not
bless.
supposed to know, but like also isn't it kind of open secret at this point that it's his back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it was
Yeah.
when he got injured in that last game that like put him out for
Buffalo.
another extended period of time, when he was like on the ice holding his back being like, oh, and I was like, Austin, you're giving it away. Austin, please, your secret, put your wig back on. You're not Hannah Montana right now. Like,
unless it was like terrible, it was like terrible acting where he's like, oh, my back.
And then they call him for diving. God help me. That game was crazy.
It was crazy because
wild.
why was there 10 goals scored? Which
Why did Jake McCabe score one of them?
Oh, the first goal of the game. Why did offensive powerhouse Jake McCabe open the scoring? His first goal of the year, which apparently him and Simon Benoit had a bet about as well.
Yeah. Benny lost $100 for it, didn't he?
Yeah, $100 on who would score first.
Yeah. God.
Oh, Benny.
That was, and he was the one who broke the Decor's like stint of not being able to score. It was the first one since November 30th.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Dear me.
Apparently we were last in the league for like defenseman scoring. So that's
Which is hilarious because
because we have Morgan
having to
Riley
put up
right
with
there.
the way, but also as well as the way that like Sens fans have been complaining that their decor isn't scoring either, and I'm like, well,
could be worse. You could be the Leafs.
could be worse. Yeah. Yeah, which usually you would think that they would celebrate being better than the Leafs at something. But they're too busy worrying about the fact that Carter Yakimchuk didn't go to World Juniors.
Yakimchuk is a crazy fucking name.
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love a good hockey name, you know?
Oh,
Some guys
yeah.
just have like hockey names.
Yeah,
His nickname
Dick Clapper.
is Yaki. Like he's totally Yaki in the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Or Yakko.
Yeah.
He probably is Chucky, but like Yaks, Yakum. but Wacko. Like it could be anything.
Oh my god.
Dick Clapper, like Boston Bruins, like Dick Clapper will always for all time be in hockey, like the greatest hockey name for me.
God,
D.I.T. Clapper. Boston Bruins legend. Like actually they retired his number, but still, like just speaking
Legend.
of Boston. Yeah, also then like Matthew Knies scores a hat trick. Like that's
That's our boy. That's our boy. And
Matthew
you know
Knies
what?
scores his hat trick.
I feel a very strong connection to Matthew Knies as someone who is like, we're the same age, theoretically same grad class, all of these like things that, you know, bring you together as human beings. We are same age, therefore we are one and the same, you and I. I can't lie, I cried. I was so excited I cried. I felt normal about Matthew Knies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
As
he
usual.
just had all around a fantastic game. Got 5 points, so 3 goals, 2 assists. Was a +6 for the Leafs.
He's
And
not
had 6 shots on goal.
real.
Because like they were all like very him goals as well. The first one was a tip in net front.
Whoa, shocker. Not seen that one before.
Remember seeing that goal and writing down a note that was just like, ooh, Kniesy tip, sick. First one in 10 games, crazy. And then like promptly had to amend my notes like a period later that was like, he then proceeded to score 2 more goals.
And like the other two as well, like that one where it was like very John Tavares, spin around, backhand. Like,
Very
okay,
John
tell me you
Tavares
were
is so
practicing
funny.
that. It is. I've seen
not
John
wrong.
Tavares has scored twice that way. Like twice that way this season.
Every time John does a spinorama goal, I go, oh, John, you silly goose. You silly little goose, you.
Like-
and then Kniesy does it, and I'm like, oh, he lived in his basement that one time. Remember the kombucha keg, Kniesy? Remember babysitting the kids? Like, I just get like really emotional about the fact that like this team is a family of guys, but it's like they don't care and I do.
No, they're like, yeah, just like, because like, we're sitting here going like, oh yeah, no, Matthew Knies totally taught Fraser Minton how to do keg stands using John Tavares' kombucha keg. And that's very much probably what did not happen.
But it's what happened
just like
in our
video
hearts.
games.
That would be crazy. I'm just thinking it's fucking like what? Okay, it's red yerba mate, but yerba mate, and I'm just imagining John being like, Fraser, have you tried this delicious kombucha? Yerba mate, and then Fraser's like, "Get me a keg in this shit."
I can't breathe.
Like, I'm just the picture of John and his two sons wearing like a mysterious paisley button up, but with cowboy boots and the cowboy hats, and then thinking about him being like, while you boys indulge in other things, I'm having my yerba mate. And then he like kisses his amulet for good luck. I don't know. It's the yerba mate.
Oh, like, you know, like, oh, of Schitt's Creek. Have you seen Schitt's Creek, Randy?
I haven't.
Oh, Catherine O'Hara just is brilliant in that. And she, like...
I'm sure I can imagine it, because I know Catherine O'Hara and other stuff.
Oh, my jaw
I'm sure
aches
you
from
do.
laughing so much.
Sorry, I'm now, like, looking up. Sorry, I have to now look up how tall John... Yeah, no. All right, think about it this way. Fraser Minton and Matthew Knies are both big, like, taller than John Tavares.
Yes.
So it is John Tavares and his two larger sons.
Yes. His two grown adult sons who also play in the NHL. Sometimes.
It's just
Fraser's having a great time with Alex Nylander. Having a great time. Him and like Alex
also
Steves,
Nikita Grabankin.
and Alex Nylander.
And
him and the Alexes.
And Nikita Grabankin.
Yeah.
Nikita Grabankin.
Had a great time.
Gotta love. Who apparently, like, finding out that he takes, like, he walks out the main entrance of Scotiabank and takes a taxi back to his apartment.
God, I love this team. I love this fuckery.
And the way we learned that, because he ended up on one of those, like, Habs Talk, like the Leafs version of
like
Habs Talk.
Fan TV
because he was
things, yeah.
Yeah. Habs Fan TV. I combined Sens Talk and Habs Fan TV into one
Same thing.
Same thing. Esque type thing, and they're like standing up and he just like shows up and he's like, "Hey guys, what up?" And it's like Nikita Grabankin.
Yeah.
I saw that kid play one preseason game, and I was like, "You can never leave the Toronto Maple Leafs organization."
That was me with Rasmus Sandin, and where are we now?
Washington.
It's only January 7th. I'm free. I'm okay, guys. I didn't do it. I promise.
But yeah, no, Matthew, and like also as well, the top line had a great game. Mitch Marner gets the empty net. Austin Matthews gets the empty net.
There were 13 points between that entire team, or line, not team.
Yeah,
team 2.
Yeah, because they're freaks.
They're freaks.
They're freaks. They're freaks.
I saw someone post a tweet that was like, 1 second, I've got some freakish stuff for you. I saw a tweet after Knies' Hattie that was so funny, and every time I see anything that has to do with Matthew Knies, the sound of like the soundtrack of Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar just plays in the background, because someone tweeted and said like Matthew Knies when he's playing Boston or Tampa or Boston or Florida or either of them, and it's just like the like instrumental to Not Like Us, like muffled coming from another room, and like that's the inside of Knies' head. Like that's all he hears. Because there was the interview after the game where he was like, are you thinking anything in those moments? And he's like, no,
I don't think. And it's the way too. He's like, "Oh, my brother was at the game too," and I'm like, "Phil Knies, what a man!" But Anthony, that's it.
Love you, Phil Knies.
Friend of the show, Phil Knies.
Friend of the show.
What a guy.
But if we want to talk about like just like absolute freaks, like we'll always have like Joe.
Sorry, just
I was going to talk about David Pasternak.
Knies and his brother to absolute freaks.
Well, my transition works. Better. My transition works better when we were talking solely about the top line. But now I wanted to talk about David Pasternak.
I love that man.
Did you catch the pre-game, the interview they did with him during warm-ups, where he essentially stops the interview and they ask him about, because fucking Kevin Biesca is like, "Oh, you're really stylish there, Pasternak. You're really, really good with the pregame this. Or do you have any thoughts about what you like wear before you go to a game?" He's like, "No, I wake up 30 minutes before I have to leave," which is shocking information to my mother. She was like, "What? He only wakes up 30 minutes before he has to leave?" And I was like, "Yes, Mom."
He's William Nylander's best friend. Of fucking course he wakes up 30 minutes before he has to leave.
They don't think they're late to things because when they hang out, they're always on time because they're late together. Yeah. Meanwhile, Morgan Riley is buying that man an agenda for Christmas.
Morgan Riley's like rocking back and forth. He's been at the restaurant for 2 hours, sitting alone.
He asked, and then they bring up going like, "Well, your good friend Willie Styles, you two really quite a fashion pair." And then David Pasternak, instead of answering the question, goes, "Wait, where is William?" and looks for him, and then does not continue talking until he goes, "Oh, there we go, I found him."
Okay, because I was watching Sportsnet, but like on TV, but I think I tuned in like after this interview happened, and all they were doing was talking about the fact that they were just talking like the entire time about how Pasta didn't want to go back to warm-ups because he just wanted to like stand and talk.
And then they compared like his skating distance during warm-ups to Jeremy Swayman's. The goalie, and like
Sway skated further. Sway's like literally just like, audio viewers, I am moving my fingers back and forth.
Audio viewers, aka all of our viewers.
Yeah.
Wait,
did Connor one clip and it's just me moving my hands.
Did Connor Dewar fight? Because why did Lance Hornby?
I don't remember that happening.
Because why did Lance Hornby tweet was that really Connor Dewar scrapping or Brian Glennie?
What?
It's a reason. Connor Dewar's first fight is a triple police.
We're not even watching the game. I haven't even turned on the game. I forgot there was a game happening.
Sorry, no,
I'm getting Philly.
I'm getting.
Oh, I got the tweet notification, then I went, huh?
Yeah.
I'm opening the game.
Sorry. I would like the record to show that why is my boyfriend texting me Sydney?
Hi, Simon.
Oh, do you think Sidney Crosby will make the Olympic roster next year?
Oh, well, yes. They're like throwing the gloves. They didn't just drop the gloves. They threw them. Okay, I'm watching the clip with Dewey right now. So he's on the ice. He's talking. He's chatting. They're dropping. They didn't even touch. They just immediately throwing the gloves.
Who is he fighting?
Farabee. Joel Farabee.
Diva on Diva Crime?
Diva on Diva Crime. Dewar's got him by the neck. He's punching. Hits were thrown. Who's winning? Oh my god, he grabbed his head.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Joel grabbed Dewar's head. Oh, Dewey's getting some good hits in. Oh, and they've landed on top of one another.
Whoa.
They're both fine. Pat on the back by the goalies. Stick taps from the bench. His helmet's off. Good job. Good job, Connor Dewar. That was beautiful. Thank you. That was live recaps of the fight from Randy.
My diva.
Play. Let's get you to WWE.
Imagine.
But yeah, now I'm like, sorry. I just want to say, sorry, I have been pro Connor Dewar fighting losing fights since he came to the Leafs. Actually, no, since he was in Minnesota. Prior to this, I've been saying he will just fight to lose. And now he's fought Joel Farabee. Because sure, why not?
Fuck it, we ball.
Why not?
Yeah. Sorry,
Wow.
Simon's now really asking me. He's gonna hate me for bringing this up, but he's like, "Do you think Sidney Crosby will make the Olympic roster next year?" Yes. That was my answer.
I think
really,
he'll make it as the 4C.
He'll be ancient.
Yeah,
it's next year. Yeah, but isn't
he's there
he almost
as
like
the
40
reigning
now?
champ? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll still make it.
Yeah.
He's Sidney Crosby.
If
he won't make it on the team, he'll make it as an honorary coach. Like, they'll invite him regardless.
Yeah. Also, isn't he almost 40 now? What's 1987?
He was born in 1987. He was born on 8/7/87. A true Nova Scotian knows the date of our Lord and Savior Sidney Crosby's birth. That is Christmas.
Yeah. That is Christmas.
August 7th is Christmas.
Can you stop making me laugh when I've got drink in my mouth?
I'm so sorry.
Sounds like a you issue. But
I'm
David
so
Pastrnak, in a way of like, it was sort of a battle on the Bruins of like which childhood best friend was going to score the most goals between David Pastrnak and Trent Frederick. David Pastrnak won because he's David Pastrnak, but like, I don't know. True. Trent Frederick got one, which worked out in Kitchen against Joseph Wool.
Shocker.
My favorite part of that game was Austin like playing pool to win the game.
That was incredible.
Bro ended up sliding on his stomach like a penguin and poking the puck with the tip of his stick like he's playing pool, but very poorly. And empty net, so it goes in.
Yeah.
But what?
Well, because then Oliver Ekman-Larsson, the next night, does it better because he does it on an actual NHL goalie.
Sorry, I have to mention that Sportsnet just like actually just the word I'm looking for is evading me. Just made such fun of Joel Farabee, showed him sitting in the box and was like, his points per game is the lowest this season that it's ever been before.
Oh, I thought they just would have called him bald.
That is also applicable, but they were like, not only is he bald, he's also shit this season. Like,
speaking of the Flyers, Toronto on Sunday, back-to-back, with no travel for once, a miracle. Toronto versus Philly, and they decided to do not bad goalie against bad goalie, that's insulting. They decided to do low save percentage against low save percentage, with Dennis Hildeby against Ivan Fedotov.
I love Hildebeest.
Yeah, love Dennis.
His bad save percentage is only a consequence of bad defensive play in front of him, obviously.
I think also because like that one really bad game he had, like his bad games, like he's had a couple of bad games, but it's been like a thing of like the Leafs would have needed like a really good game from their goalie to win, and they just got an average game, and so they lost.
Yeah.
So it was more on the Leafs blue line and like people not knowing how to play defense. But I have also now, it's the first game of the Leafs Mentors trip, which we'll talk about that later. And then I have so many players on the Flyers are from Southern Ontario.
Oh God, they always are. That's like literally the entire NHL. It's like, oh look, this team is coming to Toronto. Guess how many Southern Ontario players they have? It's 21. It's the entire team.
Video? Remember when the Dallas Stars made that video that they then posted on social media and were like hyping up it was like a regular season game in like January between the Leafs and the Stars in Toronto, and they were like, it's a big matchup because guess what? We have Tyler Seguin from Toronto or from like Southern Ontario. Wyatt Johnson from Toronto.
Oh no.
Did Garnet Hathaway just score?
Don't look. Don't look.
It's too bad. I get David Alter
It was Travis
notifications.
Konechny. Don't look.
Oh,
It was Travis Konechny. Don't look.
Oh, it was Travis Konechny?
You'll never guess who was fucking on the ice. You'll never guess who was fucking on the ice. Ryan fucking Rees. Ban him. Ban him from the league. Get him gone. I think it was a Garnet Hathaway first assist. Yeah, it was.
Ah.
Oh, it was the fourth.
I'm trying to think of how many
so
bad things I can say before it becomes too controversial and I get banned from the podcast.
Oh no,
forever.
it wasn't a Hathaway first assist. Life is good.
Okay.
It was a secondary assist.
But yes, it's like one of those. It's like they like hyped it up so much, and I was like, guys, it's January. It would be slightly different if it was a playoff series, especially because then the playoff series would be like the Stanley Cup final. I'd be like, all right, okay, yeah, hype it up, whatever.
I understand doing it as a Western Coast team, being like, this is our only game in Toronto for the whole year, or like a Western Conference team. When it's like the Flyers doing it, I'm like, guys, you've been here like 3 times already this year. like leave, get out. This is not your house.
It's like I'm trying to just like, yeah, I don't know. I will say that video, that the Stars video though still makes me laugh.
Oh yeah, so much.
Because you could have hyped it up a little bit, but like you didn't have to go like making an edit in which you had the players do like interviews about the game, about playing in Toronto. Like it's different if you're like, oh, here's the edit of all of the guys who are from Southern Ontario. Instead, no, that you would like interview them and had them do like talking heads about like what it's like to go back and play in Toronto.
Jesus.
When like only like a couple of them were actually from Toronto, the rest were just like from like Southern Ontario. I'm like, not the same.
Like,
I'm getting really Toronto.
Guelph.
I'm getting really Toronto elitist here. Look, okay.
Is it Toronto elitist to say that Dylan Strome's not from Toronto? He's from Mississauga.
No, because I say that about Owen Power all the time.
Good. I support that in you. But you know what I like? When players like Michael Bunting say they're from Scarborough and own it. Like, I want someone who's like, I'm proudly from Hamilton, Ontario. I'm proud.
You have like 2 sides of like the type of players who say they're proudly from a certain place. You have like the Michael Buntings who are like, I'm from Scarborough, or like I'm from a specific part of like this big city, and are like, I'm really proud of it, like Scarborough or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna say North York because that, and Wyatt Johnson's from North York. That place is rich enough. Look, my friend went to high school with Wyatt Johnson. I'm allowed to bring it up.
Yeah, that's real.
Wyatt Johnson sat behind Wyatt Johnson in grade 10 science, and I was like, good for you. And he was like, yeah.
That's the same vibe. Or you like, have when I'm thinking specifically when Sidney Crosby says he's from Cole Harbour and fucking Nathan McKinnon says he's from Halifax. One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. Or
they're both from Cole Harbour.
Like, yeah. Well, no. Nathan McKinnon is still salty that he's like that is like the Cole Harbour sign.
I've been to the sign. My friend lives down the road from the sign. Home of Sidney Crosby,
where it's like
winner of the 2018 Community like Achievement Award. Blah, blah, blah. Home of Nathan McKinnon.
It's like, Nathan McKinnon's also from here, but like Sidney Crosby.
I took Casey to the sign on a pilgrimage. It's next to a Walmart.
Brilliant. But on the other end of the spectrum, you have like the Bobby McMahon, or like the Connor Dewar. Speaking of Connor Dewar, who are like, I'm from Pa, like super duper proud to be from like this small community in the middle of fuck nowhere. Like
that's what matters.
But then like in the middle, you just have like, you know, Connor McDavid from Newmarket.
My favorite, like, I'm from this random buttfuck nowhere place is Ryan Graves from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, because he's truly from, like, nobody in their right mind goes to Yarmouth willingly. I love Nova Scotia. I've lived here my whole life.
That's my favorite thing.
Yarmouth makes no sense.
My favorite thing is to find the players who are from like literally the middle of nowhere, like butt fuck nowhere. And that's like my favorite thing.
I love a good butt fuck nowhere. I was going somewhere with that and then went, this is too weird, I have to stop.
What an interesting choice of words.
Moving on. I was gonna say I'm waiting for a goal. Like, yeah, last game I don't know. I was waiting for like Connor Dewar to score. Yeah, for holding on Bobby
Jamie
McMahon.
Drysdale in there.
I mean, don't we all just want to hold on to Bobby McMahon?
A little bit.
We too.
I can.
Yeah.
I have his nameplate. I'm holding on to him.
Holding space for Bobby McMahon.
Holding
See, I can make pop culture references to movies that I haven't seen. I still don't understand where the holding space came from.
It's because she's holding space.
Is that what that is?
Why did they just have a shorty chance? God, I hate this team. I'm kidding. I love you. I love you, Toronto Maple Leafs. Sorry, if I tell them I hate them enough, they'll stop scoring.
But yeah, I also have here Matthew Knies keeps rolling because he scores again. Because like, yeah, sure, whatever. Okay.
He was
Pop
like,
off,
yeah,
Matthew
I'm
Knies.
just gonna score the first one. That's his thing. Pop
Yeah.
off.
And then you know Jake McCabe fights Garnet Hathaway because like, okay. Because like my like opinion on this is like, okay, yes, Jake McCabe was right for going after Hathaway because Hathaway like ran over Dennis Hildeby, and like you don't run over Dennis Hildeby.
Nope.
It's Dennis
Baby
Hildeby.
goalie. It's baby goalie.
Baby goalie. But then like it gets to a point where like the refs don't blow the whistle. And like they should have. And Jake McCabe's allowed to keep poking the bear, essentially. And eventually, the bear fights back because the bear is
the bear drops his fucking gloves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the bear lands on top of Jake McCabe's head.
Yeah.
The bear makes Jake McCabe quite sad.
Yeah, quite sad. And also, like, half like he's not awake anymore, like he's just kind of laying there. It's very like John Tavares that one time that was really bad.
That literally was like again in the 2021 playoffs game 1 when Corey Perry accidentally allegedly knees him in the head during the first period against the Montreal Canadiens, and then we've all seen the Amazon Prime docuseries.
I see that video and like that every time I search up John Tavares, just like looking for a picture online, that is the image I'm greeted with, and I'm like, guys, stop. Like that was I wasn't a super big Leafs fan at that time. Like I was kind of casually watching hockey at that point, was watching more Bolts games than I was Leafs games. I literally flipped the channel to be like, oh, I should check it on the Leafs and see how their game's going. John on a stretcher. Sorry, John Tware. The timing was crazy because like
and Kyle Dubas is running down from the press box.
Kyle Dubas is like
on his phone,
on
the phone.
That man. Yeah.
Well, also on the phone, probably with Aaron, going, "Don't worry, it's fine. I'll check in on him. Don't worry. Like we'll make sure. Like it's fine. Okay. Like don't worry. Don't panic. It's fine. Like you don't like." Chill out, like we're good. Like
chill out.
chill.
He's like, it's fine. It's fine.
More so for himself than for
Jake
Aaron.
wasn't even like trying to get up, and he didn't look like confused. He was just unsteady as like he looked like a goat trying to stand up for the first time, where he just like kind of wobbles, and then Mo is like, "My princess," and catches him.
Let me cradle your head gently in my lap.
Mo immediately goes for what? Sure, yeah, okay, Max Domi, first shot on goal for the Leafs. Why not? Thanks, David.
Oh. That's gross.
But
continue.
Mo immediately goes in. I think this podcast listening experience would be best if you rewatched it with tonight's Leafs game.
Oh yeah, like in tandem. Because I think we started recording literally like at puck drop, if not shortly before. You could time it. Like you could find the right time.
And like Mo immediately goes into what I like as a lifeguard, like to call the pro first aid position of one knee propped up behind his back. And I was like, what lifeguarding course did you take, Morgan?
I wonder if they make them take first aid courses sometimes. Or if, like,
Do you
Mo opted to take a first aid course.
Did Morgan...
I feel like that'd be smart.
Does Morgan Riley... if he did take a standard first aid course, does he routinely maintain his qualification? And if so, is there people in Toronto who have taken a standard first aid recertification course with Leafs defenseman Morgan Riley?
Imagine.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Oh my god!
Because
You just rock up and you're like, "What's Mr. Tessa Virtue?"
Well, because they always have it in the most random of places. Like if he did it, like, and you've signed up for it through the city of Toronto, they always have it in the most like random places and stuff. And it's usually like community pools. And just, you show up, and it's like every other time you recertify, you have to take the full 2-day course.
Ugh. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So as resident lifeguard. Oh
my god, they're showing the mentors during the intermission.
Someone clip it. Someone
We've
on
got
Twitter
Jumbo.
better clip this.
Sorry, every time I see Jumbo, I have to stare. The coloring on his beard is so specific.
I feel like it's dyed.
He's wearing a Canada Goose jacket instead of a jersey like everyone else. It's not even the intermission. It was just a clip. So sorry. Continue. I saw Jumbo. This was truly very important to me. We're getting there. We're getting there. What else happened during that game? Oh, 2 periods of hockey that I didn't care to watch. I watched it. I didn't enjoy it.
Goal.
Yeah.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson, he literally did what Austin Matthews did the night before, but was like, watch me do it on a real goalie.
And it was a magical 5-hole goal that was magic.
Yeah, it was like everyone saw Jake McCabe's, like everyone on the Leafs blue line was like, watch Jake McCabe score, and was like, hey, wait, we can do that? Because this game then goes to overtime, because of course it does. And Morgan Riley with the overtime winner.
Mo Daddy.
Mo Daddy indeed.
In the immortal words of Bobby McMahon. Mo Daddy.
Mo Daddy. Bobby McMahon. No, because you know how, like, that was like the one game where I was like, please don't go to overtime, because it is really late. I'm really tired.
Sunday.
It's a Sunday, and I was like, I have to be up.
Second game of a back-to-back.
4 hours. I was like, I have to be up in 4 hours. If this goes to overtime, I'm gonna like do something drastic.
Here's the thing. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Because you didn't want the game to go to overtime, the game went to overtime.
Yeah, naturally. Like the one time I actually have to be up really early the next day.
It did give us that picture of Phil Myers like jumping into Mo's arms though. Where he's like he jumps and just like wraps his legs around him, and I'm like, I've never seen a grown man do that.
But also as well, if you were given the opportunity to do that to Morgan Riley, would you also take the chance?
Have you ever tried
if he scored an over? I love Sabrina Carpenter.
But yeah, Morgan Riley, like, we'd love, because he did the one thing, like,
so much.
He didn't pass to Austin Matthews, which I think was why the Leafs were winning without him. And it's not because they're worse with him, it's because they all have like, oh, wait a minute, we have Austin Matthews. That's an option, and they think that's the only option when like it's not. They have another option, and it's called shoot the fucking puck.
Yeah. It's always nice to get a reminder of that. Especially when they're not doing it.
Not to mention the belt pick that came out of this game. which was just
Brilliant.
Mo sandwiched between two French-Canadian guys who look like cousins. Phil
They're
Myers and
French-Canadian,
Simone Benoit.
They all look
who-
like cousins.
It's the stash, like, semi-beard
Goatee.
combo with, like, a fucked up flow. And, like, they have the same musculature on
Like,
their
tall and
arms, where I'm
lanky.
like, well, also they're wearing the same outfit, which doesn't help. But, like, you know, Phil Myers is from fucking New Brunswick, and then Simon
Yeah, but
Benoit.
he's
He's from
Benoit.
he's from Moncton, but he lived in Dieppe and had like one French parent, one English parent. So he's like the true New Brunswicker. And then Simone Benoit is the milkman. So sorry, he's from Laval, and I assume he had French parents based on his accent.
There's this one old clip of him from when he was in juniors that I saw, in which it is the most heavy, like, Quebecois French accent. And I'm like,
they
oh
both
yeah.
played in the queue, so it's like they have a lot in common, and like the way they were raised was probably similar. Coming from
But
a
also as
maritime
well-
or Eastern
okay.
Canadian myself.
But also as well, like, his name is Philippe Myers with two P's and an E. That's
Felipe.
French. Maybe it's Italian.
Felipe. He's Flip Myers. And then literally, like, he's not Simon Benoit, because I heard people like saying that. Simon Benoit, if you will. Simon Benoit.
Do you
Get
do
really
you
in
wanna
there.
know
Get
how
really
many
nasally,
times
guys.
I have talked about my boyfriend Simon on Twitter, and I've typed out Simon, and like the context of the tweet is very much, I know this man on a deep personal level. And people have thought that I'm talking about Benoit, and I'm like, no. Not Simon Benoit.
No.
My boyfriend Simon.
The Anglophone.
No. He's his friend, his mom's side of the family is French Belgian, so actually
Oh. Damn.
so
That's not the French I was expecting out of all the Frenches in the world. You could have said French Haitian, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. French, Belgian French.
They speak French in Belgium.
I know they
used
do.
it when I was there. Yeah. But yeah, no, his French, his mom's side of the family is French Belgian. So like, yes, he does speak French
Yeah.
quite well, actually. But
Good for him.
yeah.
Ottawa
But no,
moment.
I feel like Ottawa very much an Ottawa moment.
They speak
but
French
yeah.
there quite well, actually, if you consider it.
Moving on to some not Leaf games, but some Leaf news tidbits. Speaking of Philippe Myers, he signs a 2-year extension with the Leafs at an $850 AAV, which, like, I wrote in my notes, can't go wrong. And then Randy, when I sent said notes to show a different part of my notes, Randy criticized that statement.
I need to. So I'm gonna quote from. I wrote that, like, in my Leafs recap. I wrote something. Where was it? I'm pulling it up. Phil Myers' contract extension. I said I trust his defensive skill at least a little. I then had to add an amendment because Avery was like, I don't trust it for shit. And I said, no matter how much my editor reminds me that just because he was on the Bolts does not mean he's good. Which is true. I also then texted Avery to follow up and said, he's not great, but he's capable of playing games where he's better than Timmins. And I said, that's awesome. And then Avery said, that's like saying a monkey can use a typewriter better than a chihuahua. Like, technically, but does that mean anything? So, Phil Myers is a defenseman, as is Connor Timmins. That's all I have to say on the topic. Remember when
one of them
Mitch
is
Marner
capable
was
of playing
defense?
and everyone, and I think I said, hey, maybe the solution to the Leafs right D that we've been needing has been Mitch Marner all along, and I was booed. Now we have a French Canadian who can play with Morgan Riley and like
Yeah.
it chill.
But
Like
what matters to me
the
is like
world isn't falling apart.
I like Philip Myers' deal because I like that he comes from the Q. I like when Q guys get to like make it in the league. I also like how he was developed. I was way too into the Tampa Bay Lightning for a period of time. And as a result, know way too much about that damn team, but only from the span of like 2015 to 2023. So Phil Myers came from like the era of the Bolts where they were really deep into not a rebuild, but they were really good at developing guys because their AHL team, the Crunch, were just like they were incredible, and then their NHL team was incredible, and all it did was just like churn out players. So you got players from that period of time that spawned Yanni Gourde, Braden Point, Anthony Cirelli, Ross Colton, like this whole slew of guys. And like Phil Myers also comes from that era. He was really bad on the Bolts. He was dog shit on the Bolts.
I was gonna say, I was like, is this a time where I add in he was drafted by Philadelphia?
Yeah, he was drafted by Philly and then like got sent to the Bolts, and that's the only thing that fixed him. And then was still dog shit on the Bolts and has managed to find a place here.
No. Now I remember why Philippe Myers is a name that like I knew, and it's not because he played with the Marlies for 16 games during 21-22 season.
Because that was also funny.
Yeah, I think that's because Nashville didn't have an AHL affiliate, and so they were like, well, we can send you to the Marlies. It's because he was involved in both the Nolan Patrick to Nashville trade and the Ryan McDonough to Nashville trade.
Yep. He's been involved in some like fucking crazy trades, which is like it's so funny because he's always a roster piece that's just there to be moved, which is why I find it interesting that he's on like a 2-year deal at a very low rate, which makes him a really good playing piece when it comes to the deadline. I don't think it'll be this deadline, but it could be one in the future.
He played in the Q with Timo Meyer and AJ Greer. Oh, I remember that name.
I know one of those guys. This wasn't the Mooseheads, was it? It was a different team.
No, he played for the Huskies, the Miranda Huskies.
It was Timo in the not Timo time. Because obviously Timo time only happened in Halifax, real. This is an official statement.
Hold on. Microsoft Teams is making me re-sign into my school account.
No.
Boo.
I do think though Microsoft is listening to our conversation quite literally, because the Microsoft Authenticator number that they make me enter into the app was 51.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No. For those who don't have all of the Leafs jersey numbers embedded into their brain like I do, that is Philippe Myers' jersey number.
I did know that, and
Maybe Microsoft just really, really likes Philippe Myers.
Guys, the Leafs just finished the entire first period and had only 2 shots on goal.
Oh my god, this team!
Don't worry, it's better than only 1 or 0. That's 2 better than 0.
Woohoo!
I love our team.
But yeah, no, like I will say also as well as like that AAV for Philip Myers is variable. You can send him down to the Marlies. Will he clear waivers? Who knows? But like Probably not. But like it's fine. It's whatever. It's better than Connor Timmins' deal.
Yeah, but I think anything's better than Connor Timmins' deal.
No,
Connor Timmins
I've seen the Ryan Reeves contract.
Yeah, there's exceptions.
I've seen the Ryan Reeves contract.
Oh, we've all seen the Ryan Reeves contract.
How much
and
time
we all
do
wish
we have
we
left
hadn't.
on that deal?
1 year.
I want
to set
after this season. After this season.
I want to set up a
3
countdown to July 1st, 2026. Waiting for the day it expires.
You've got it like circled on your calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, like
It's named titled Freedom.
I'm actually adding that to my Google Calendar right now. I think it'll be funny.
But yeah, also as well, Leafs mentor trip is this game, and that game I honestly am usually they do it in New York, or am I crazy? Historically
Sometimes
it's been
they
in
do.
it's been
I would say because like Tavares' dad had a great time.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
no, he had the best time last
Because it was
year.
John scoring his 1,000th point and he was there.
Yeah. And that clip spawned that clip of them reacting to said goal spawned so much discourse on Leafs Twitter for about 2 weeks.
Yep.
We don't need to get into that. I wanted to talk about the fact that, you know, instead of New York, they're going to the city of brotherly love. Isn't that Philadelphia? Isn't it the city of brotherly love?
I have never heard that once, but I'll take your word at face value. I trust you.
It's
City
It is
of
Philadelphia.
Brother. What the fuck?
I'm
Why?
so smart.
Oh, it's a song by Neil Young? Is
it?
that the origin?
No, it's because Philadelphia is a combination of two Greek words, love, phileo, and brother, adelphos. The city was named by its founder, William Penn, who envisioned a city of religious tolerance where no one would be persecuted. Huh. Okay, Slay.
Learn something new every day.
It's also called The City That Loves You Back, which was introduced by a tourism campaign and a 1997 advertising campaign. The motto was both a reply and challenge to the I Love New York slogan and countered the antisocial reputation that Philly had developed. Okay, that's enough about Philly nicknames. That was beautiful. I'm so glad I could share that with you today.
But yeah, and here's what we have for a running list of the various Leafs mentors who are on said trip, because we don't have a Leafs beat reporter who was able to give us like a breakdown. We just have to guess, and it's annoying. We have tidbits. Morgan Riley and Matthew Knies both brought their brothers, in which genetics work, and you can tell by looking at their brothers.
They literally look the same, and it's kind of like exactly what you'd expect.
Did you see? I think it was David Alter who posted the picture, who was like, "Oh look, you can see here's Joe Thornton from behind," and it's like, and in the pic, it's the one where like Anthony Stolarz is also in the picture, and then like Matthew Knies' brother Phil, and they literally, if I had not known that was Phil, I would have assumed that was Matthew Knies because they look like, so similar from the back. Yeah,
but he's so much shorter, so like you could tell by height alone.
He's just a pocket-sized Matthew Knies.
It's Matthew Knies if you shrunk him.
He's so
Matthew Knies if you put him in the wash.
I'm looking at like the big picture. I have it pulled up again, like the picture of all the guys on the ice, all the guys, and also Bobby's sister.
Our queen.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Feminist icon Bobby McMahon.
Bobby McMahon did bring his sister, who's 8 years old. I know this because Bobby McMahon gave all this information willingly in his media availability. I feel like every time I say like personal information about the Toronto Maple Leafs players, I have to preface it with, this was all because they either said it themselves or it's readily available on the public internet. Just like start looking, like the players who played in college, like on your team, start looking up their college roster pages, because you'll learn things about them. Like apparently Jake McCabe can play the guitar.
They're gonna start a band. The Leafs
are gonna start a band. Bobby McMahon brought his sister, who's 8 years older than him, and apparently helped him with his English assignments in college.
She's such a real one.
Yeah, because
she's such a real one because
theater minor Bobby McMahon
struggled with writing essays, apparently.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, I will not be helping my sister with her essays. I have enough things on my plate right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. My sister with her work, because I have like just essays, and hers is all like practical, so it's brilliant.
Yeah. John Tavares brought his uncle, John Tavares.
Fuck yeah. I love that lacrosse guy.
Yeah, John Tavares' uncle of lacrosse fame.
Well, 'cause,
Question.
okay,
Do you
there's,
think
like,
he
a
sold
weird
his uncle an
thing.
amulet? Or did he get him one for Christmas?
Oh my god, I'm looking at his
Do
neck
they have
right now. I'm zooming
matching
in.
amulets?
Let me in.
Did
I
John
can't zoom
Tavares
close
do
enough.
what every did John Tavares do what every like first year university student does, which is, you know how like, did you guys also get your entire family university merch in your first year for Christmas? Because you just went to the
No.
bookstore and you were like, no?
No, I don't like my school that much.
That,
Actually,
feel
I do like my
that's-
school that much. There's just not that much variation in our merch.
I feel like that's not as big of a thing here.
Well, British.
Yeah, and Atlantic Canadian, I guess.
I know. Close enough. You're closer than I am.
Best friends.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just got his entire family and Matthew Knies amulets for Christmas.
That would be crazy. Also, because
do you
there's
think,
like the
what
funny
if-
thing where John is like a really great lacrosse player but didn't go pro because he was better at hockey. Like, and could have been
What
like
was
in
that?
the top
Who
league
said
of
that?
lacrosse.
Who said that in that prime? Oh, it was Max Domi, because Max Domi then started like talking about all of John Tavares' like health stuff, and I was like, you would know a thing or two about John Tavares' like health voodoo stuff, wouldn't you, Max? Amulet wearer.
Amulet
He's
boy.
Amulet Boy. Why did we both have that thought?
And we have Amulet Man and we have Amulet Boy.
Well, it's because he's a toothless toddler. He has no teeth. He has to be a boy. John is a man because he still has teeth. Teeth are obviously the indicator of manhood.
Sorry, Chris Tanev.
Oh, buddy. He's got to get rid of that one last one that's just kind of like in the middle. It drives me mad.
I don't know how he eats. That's like my one thing.
I've never thought about that until this moment. And now I'm just envisioning him trying to like bite into lettuce.
I'm like deeply upset by like what I've just pictured.
Do you
Okay,
think
but
he
also
has I just thought about his tooth touching a fork alone, and I have to like stop.
Oh no!
Oh my god! It like gave me a
Like,
full
and
body reaction.
You know who's to blame for this though too? Mitch Marner.
And Morgan Riley.
And Morgan Riley. That was like, because in the most recent league, I had totally forgotten that was like, it was because of like, it happened in a game against the Leafs, and that it was like Mitch Marner's fault. And like Morgan Riley took the shot, Mitch Marner tipped it up into Chris Tanev's face. And the best part about it is that Morgan Riley apparently, like, when the news was announced that Chris Tanev was going to sign in Toronto, Morgan Riley invited him and was like, yeah, just to talk about like the team and like team dynamics and things like that. And did not apologize.
Do you think he forgot? Do you think he didn't know it was Chris?
Oh, probably. But meanwhile, Chris Tanev has like a serial killer-esque like wall, like picture of this room that he's throwing darts at their like face.
It's like my conspiracy wall, except it's just all Mo. And like three
Mitch
little
Marner.
bitches because he can't throw them at Mitch because he's like, that one's too small. I can't hurt him. He's like a little rodent. That'd be mean. Whereas Mo's like like a grown man.
Remember, like, you know, like it's like Mitch Marner's like fuck ass veneers. And it's just throwing them.
They're so fuck ass veneers. Him and Austin both. They're like, look at my teeth. Cha-ching! And it's like they make that noise when he smiles. Cha-ching!
I can't believe they got like couples veneers. That's so cute.
You know, like
Next up, plugs.
You know, like King Neptune in SpongeBob. His shiny head.
Yes.
Their teeth.
I'm
That's
so
just their
upset.
veneer. The word, okay, I will say though, at least with Austin, like his like bottom teeth are fairly straight. With Mitch though, it's bad. It looks worse because his top teeth, like veneers, they're straight. They're perfectly straight.
The bottom ones?
So the bottom ones, he so desperately needs like
Give me a little,
braces,
like a little
serious,
Invisalign. Give me some Invisalign, Mitch. You can do it. It doesn't hurt
serious,
that bad,
like,
buddy.
it's like serious orthodontic work.
Uh,
It's like so bad, and I think that makes the veneers look worse. Anyways, Austin Matthews also brought Joe Thornton as his mentor, taking away Macklin Celebrini's landlord for a few days.
So Poppy took away Papa.
But like also as well, it's like I want to know if like Joe Thornton was like, oh yeah, I'll come back. Or if Austin, because like he would have had to fly from San Jose, or if like Austin Matthews really had to like lay it on thick of like, come on, Jumbo, you were such a great mentor to me. You really helped me like
I just
my
think about
fifth
the
season
oh my
in the
God.
league.
I just had like a vision. So you know that picture from that one Christmas that was in the bubble where it's like Jumbo and his dog's out on Austin's floor?
and then William Nylander and Matt Hollowell are also there.
And Rasmus Sandin.
And
he's like sitting on Willie's shoulders.
Yeah, no, because like
Rasmus like Jumbo's on the floor with Zeus. Yes. Not Rasmus. Jumbo's on the floor with Zeus. Not Zeus. Felix. The other one. I always get their names confused because they just have this, it's not the same dog, but they have the same vibes. And it's like Cheddar is like just in the back. And I always think about the fact that like in that one TSN video that's like calling out your teammates for fun or what have you, and they're like, where did Cheddar get his nicknames? And it's like, Cheddar, Cheese. Jumbo did it.
Big Cheese.
Assigned Cheddar by Jumbo.
It's like everything Jumbo.
Jumbo did it. Was it Mitch who said that? Where it was like, Mitch was like, oh, every dumb nickname Cheddar has is because of Jumbo.
And they're all calling him Cheddar too. Like it's not even. His name is Mac Hollowell, and his nickname is Cheddar. Brother is the Mousetrap. Like he's the mouse in the Mousetrap game series.
it's the Cheddar fact that like I can. It's the worst part.
And it's
about
because he's ginger.
My brain was working another way where I was going, okay, Mac and cheese. He probably made the mistake of having mac and cheese at like lunch for one day, and they were like, aha, look at Mac having mac and cheese, Cheddar.
I love word association as nicknames in the NHL because that's truly just like I want to know like
Ilya Mikheyev's soup. Do you remember that? Remember that video that they put out where it was just them going through their nicknames? It was like, hi, my name's Jason Spezza. I play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and my nickname is Spets.
Yeah, no way.
Remember that video?
I don't, but like I'm sure I've seen it. Because some of them have like some weird nicknames. Because like Austin has more nicknames than just like Poppy.
Big T, Tony,
Tone. When they start calling him Ostone, and you're like, oh, okay, bud. You're like, we know that's the nickname you wanted to pop off, and they wanted to call you like my sweet little honey bunchkins, but in like Spanish. So they start calling you Poppy, and everyone's like, Poppy. And it's just like, it doesn't hit the same way Mo Daddy does. But it's like, and now that he's older, it has the same vibe. That was a Mitch creation, and I won't take any other word for it. I think that's totally Mitch James being like, "Whoa, Daddy!" And then it caught on, and now we can't escape.
Oh, I'm finding some like old ones.
Because like so many make sense. Willie Styles is funny because I think he just gave himself that nickname. But at one point in his life, he was Snizzbone. That is my favorite thing, is knowing that, like, Willie's old Twitter handle used to be Snizzbone.
Okay, in looking for said video in which I was trying to find the one, I came across Connor Brown's Twitter. Beef Sledge and Connor Brown. And his Twitter is still Breeze2Grease. With a Z.
Oh, dear.
Every day I wake up.
Indeed.
End of sentence.
Every day I wake up, full stop.
Yeah. And that's all I needed to say for this time. Because, like, I want to know what Oliver Ekman-Larsson's nickname is. Because I know it's OEL. Like, people say OEL, but I'm like, he's got to have something that isn't just OEL. Because that's like, do they call him Eki? Do they just straight up go, hey, Oliver, how's it going?
Like, hey, Oliver.
Hey, Oliver. Also, like, JT is JT, like John Tavares.
Yeah.
And, like, Johnny. But does he have any Tavares-based nicknames?
Actually, I think I can answer this question. Hold on.
I'm curious.
Of course you can.
Hockey reference. Because remember
do they
when
have his nicknames listed on hockey
Yes,
reference?
they do, because I looked at it. That was a tool that I was really excited. So they have JT, J, Johnny T, Tabby, Johnny Toronto, and T Hums. I would like to know the origin of T Hums.
T Hums?
T hyphen Hums.
John
Yes.
Tavares. Or should I say John Tavares?
Is it? Hey, speaking of the fucking devil.
Did he score?
Yeah.
Good for him. I didn't know he was capable.
Oh, and I guess they then cut to. I think they then cut to.
Did they show other John Tavares?
They show. I have to then clarify.
Oh my God, Willie had an assist.
Offside work.
Willie had a crazy zone entry.
Ah!
William.
Hold on.
Oh my God, Willie's zone entry.
Scroll.
Oh my God. Did he have an assist? I can't even tell. I don't think he did.
Apparently, Austin got the assist.
Yeah, it was Austin secondary or primary or something. Oh, that's delicious.
Mark? The mentors, because that's
Show
Uncle
me...
John Tavares.
I would like to see Unk.
Apparently, Unk means old.
That was John's 20th of the season. Oh. Assisted by 1634. Lord knows it. Oh, cute. That was their third shot of the game.
Because you know what I learned? Is that apparently Unk now is slang for old.
Oh, and yeah, that's true. John Tavares is now Unk, I guess. I don't know.
And then
slang.
I don't either. And then I worked like 2 weeks with a bunch of 10 and 11-year-olds. And they found out, when they promptly found out that I was 21 years old, they proceeded to call me Unk.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm not. That's hilarious.
In which I then reminded them, and which I then didn't have a foot to stand on, because I was like fully graduated elementary school by the time they were born in 2014.
Oh, they were born in 20 what?
Oh, that's disgusting.
Excuse. Oh my God. Most seasons with 20 plus goals since 2009-10 is only Ovi and JT with like 15 each or something fucking crazy. What was that number? 15 each. Most seasons with 20 plus goals.
John Tavares is better than Alexander Ovechkin, and you can quote me on that.
I agree. He's the next Wayne Gretzky.
The next one.
He's the next one. John Tavares is going to have a comeback, guys. I foresee it in our future. He's having his best season as a Leaf, and he's been a Leaf since 2018. And he was the captain since 2019. It's like, it's too funny at this point.
Oh my days.
It's so funny because like I, as a joke, when he like after he got better from being sick, I was like, oh, John Tavares is playing like it's 2018 again. And then like 2 weeks after I said that, all the broadcasts started talking about like he's to like on the same like or better point pace than he was in 2018. And I was like, oh, so like I can't even make jokes anymore because I know puck so well that like I'm right anyways.
No, he's playing like it's 2012 again. John Tavares is playing like he's the captain of the New York Islanders.
Yeah. I will say though, like my opinion of him in that, because like the one time I like watched him in person with the Islanders is when the Islanders were in Toronto, and he did not score because the Islanders were shut out 3-0 by the 2012 Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh. Oh my God. That's the only time that's ever happened with that team. You saw something truly unique. You saw a Leafs win in 2012.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that then. That was
In
a dime a
person.
dozen.
We had great
God.
seats too because they were but yeah. Austin Briggs third, like Doug Gilmore and Wendell Clark are also on this trip because
they're present.
sure.
Yeah, sure, why
They
not?
were there.
The Leafs said, we need more mentors for us. As MLSE,
Yeah.
these are our mentors. And then it's like guys that played hockey on team.
Yeah. I want to say like Steve Lawrence brought his dad, which is fun.
That's cute.
Because that's like bringing the world. I just would love like a breakdown, like with pictures of who brought who.
Sorry, I'm
we're
back
not
on this
asking for
major
much.
image again, and all I'm looking at is Mo's brother, and I'm like, that is so Mo's brother, and I'm so uncomfortable because it looks like if you put Mo in The Sims and then like changed like some colors and added glasses. Like it looks like you changed like the like the color of the hair on the slider and added some more scruff. Like that's Tessa Virtue's brother-in-law.
I'm like, because I want to find out who belongs to who.
I'm also like, I'm so sad that Dennis Hildeby didn't have enough time to call somebody because he was like, I got called up and it's the mentor's trip. I am my own mentor. Like, I'm just imagining him deadpan Swedish, like, I am my own mentor. It's fine. Like, you couldn't have, but like, you didn't have anyone you could bring, buddy.
But like, okay, so like, I made a joke though that like Anthony Stolarz could be Dennis Hildeby's mentor.
I think that'd break me.
I mean, you could say the same thing about like Donor being Knies' mentor.
When you have to see your best friend's dad at work every single day. Because he's your boss?
Yeah.
But like you don't know how to address him?
I'm sad that Patrick Marleau's not there for merch. Merch, Mitch?
Merch?
I don't know.
Merch-related reasons. Think of all those Marleau jerseys they'd sell.
True.
I just like want to know who's who because like I don't.
The people need to know.
I hope they do like in the blueprint. I hope they introduce everyone, but I also am like, it's so much easier in like a dad's trip where they're all just wearing their son's name on their back. And then they post a picture of both in the back and I go, perfect, thank you, that's really appreciated. But this year it's like they don't even have customized jerseys. They're all just wearing the year. But like some of them do and some of them don't. Okay, maybe I'm just looking at literally every man who all has two.
The ones who aren't, because so for the players they have their customized jersey with the person's last name, not the player's last name, the person's last name who's wearing the jersey, and then the player's number. But then because then they also do the mentors for the staff, because like the Leafs are cool like that.
Oh yeah,
and so
Leafs
those
cool
who are mentors for people who don't have numbers because like their team staff, they just have 25 and then either like their last name.
Jesus Christ.
Because they did the same last year and it was 25. Like, yeah. And also as well, because it's the mentor's trip and not the dad's trip, I can't be like, oh, you really look like if we just aged up so-and-so.
Yeah.
They jailed Mitch?
Oh my God, they put it, for hooking?
Hamster in the box.
Mitchie. Get him a little wheel. He's gonna run off some energy in there.
So, and maybe like I shouldn't say, it's like Dennis Hildeby, I don't think I've ever seen him like smile in a picture like that is like posed.
No,
like a
he's
Renaissance painting.
staring at us. He looks like a little Victorian child. Like his hair is like flowing in the breeze. Though.
He's 6'7".
He's 6'7", but he's a
And,
very
like,
large Victorian child.
It's really funny because he's behind Mitch and like
Towering over him.
Can see directly over his head. And then like apologies to maybe I shouldn't say this on the podcast. It's fine. Joseph Bull looks stoned.
He does.
Sometimes when he makes that face and it's like he's not quite ready for the picture yet, or he's a little tired.
Maybe both.
I don't think he's showing up to practice stoned, but he could.
Yeah. I don't think so. But like
I don't think so either. Also, I'm loving that Stoley's just like in the picture in the very back. You go, girl.
Oh yeah, and then Jake McCade is also in the picture, but you can't really like tell unless you're like looking.
Where the fuck is he?
He's like 2 people behind Max Domi.
The hell? They hid him. They hid him from us. Well, because oh my god, he really is like hidden in there. Oh my god. They put a little hat on him to blend him in.
Yeah.
I literally didn't realize there was a human there this whole time.
He's let out of the dark room.
Oh, they had to put him right back in.
Which is like somewhat promising.
He's like he's not ready to come out of the oven yet.
Because like he is on IR. So
yeah. Do you know what I don't like about that picture? The fact that they've put Joseph Hall and Matthew Knies as far away from each other as physically possible.
It's because they have to. I'm convinced. You know why? I'm convinced that's also why they sit like literally the furthest you could possibly sit away from each other in the Leafs locker room is because they're like the 2 kids in middle school that you have to separate, or they're gonna talk to each other. Time.
I'm thinking like the people who are put in between them are like the type A girls who like had to suffer through this and be the intermediary person. I was that person. All like, 3 of us were that person.
Victims. And it didn't end up working because like we would just end up talking to them anyways.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, I was very quiet in all of my classes, but if you put me next to a yapper, I'm gonna yap.
Yappers.
Why do you think we have this show?
Exactly. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, you can't put me next to someone. No.
Oh,
I'm physically.
Funnily enough, via David Alter, that's a tough giveaway from Timmins, and Konechny has a second of the game.
Connor Timmins.
Oh, my stream is so behind. It's time to watch this. Oh, Tim. Oh my god, I just watched the give. Oh my god.
Is it bad? Is it bad?
So Timmins is in the corner fighting a puck battle, literally centers the puck and just like passes it to him, and he's unmanned. In the middle of the ice.
I'm not strong enough for this because I will just threaten Connor Timmins.
Yeah. I'm gonna sing a Phoebe Bridgers song and then like end him. And by end him, I mean I'm gonna have like someone talk to him about his contract and we're not renewing it. Like
I'm gonna. Oh
my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, so it's not Timmins that passes it. It's the guy that Timmins is like trying. Oh. Yeah, and Waller thinks he's gonna go a little bit further to the side, so he goes 5-hole. That sucked. That's
you know what the worst part is too? Is like they did this last year also with the mentor. I think maybe not to the same degree, but like Connor Timmins versus number 25. So like one of these guys who could be like could just be Connor Timmins.
True.
Mentor. Sorry. I'm still looping back to this. I'm like trying to like the people I'm looking for, and this is really bad, is like Mitch Marner brother Chris.
That Chris?
I don't know.
Oh, which Leaf was it? Was it Austin? It was Austin.
Matthews.
What happened?
Papi. They scored.
Oh yay!
Papi pee
And now do the cut to Joe Thornton in the box.
Please.
The press box.
Show me Jumbo.
Penalty box.
Please. They put him in the penalty box. He gets to watch from there. Give me Jumbo.
Front row seat. But yeah, I don't know. I like the mentorship.
Sick goal.
I will say, like,
beautiful.
I feel like whenever we get like mentors trip content, and I know like the mentors aren't like aren't
So
like
no
NHL
Jumbo?
players and stuff, but like I feel like we never get enough content from the mentors trip. Like I want more.
Yes. I want them to interview each of them individually, but like with the person they're with. Like I want each mentee and mentor to just like sit down and answer 3 questions together, and then they just splice it all. Like I just want bang, bang, bang.
Like a
I
blue
want to know
room.
who they are, where they come from, like how do you know this person, and like what inspired you to invite them on the mentors trip. That's all I need to know. Like I just want to know who these guys are inviting. I think it makes them personable. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
Whole slew of other things. Like it's just nicer that way. Austin like face washed Mitch during the Selly pile. Sorry. He like
I'm
went
sure. I'm sure. But like also it's like also because like you know when they have their like mentor trip dinner and then they do the thing where they stand up and they're like, this is my dad, blah 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 blah. Like the Caps did it, right? And I was like, give me more of that. Maybe I just want to see everyone's speeches. I don't know. I was really waiting for like Rasmus Sandin to go and be like, this is my dad, Patrick.
I love Patrick Sandin.
Great follow on Twitter, by the way, if you want to stay up to date
Incredible.
with with Rasmus Sandin.
And Linus. He has a little brother.
He has a brother, yes.
He has a brother. He plays in Europe. He's not great, but he's present.
But yeah, so that is like I don't know, maybe I want more mentors trip content because it's fun and like I know we're going to get that like blueprint video and it's not going to be like long enough. And I'm going to want more of it because I always want more of it.
Twitter to see what he's been tweeting recently. And so he tweeted twice today, both in Swedish. The first one says, today things worked out a little better for Rogel, which is like the team Linus plays for. And then another one that just says, life becomes so much easier / more pleasant with profits. Sweating, like smiling emoji, green heart. I think it's a poor translation.
It must be.
But that's really funny.
But
and then he also tweeted about Musk disinformation and how he's spreading it. So you know what? He's based, and I love him.
Icon.
We knew that though.
King, love him.
Yeah.
A true legend.
But yes, I will forever remember at Mitch Marner's wedding, when there was a picture on someone's story of Rasmus Sandin putting the commemorative, like, why is the Toronto Maple Leafs 1634 posting on Maine?
They do this every day. Every damn day. Go to bed,
anyway.
admin.
Anyways, and Rasmus Sandin put the souvenir jersey from Mitch Marner's wedding over top of his dress shirt. And like while everyone was taking their clothes off, and I think I said something about like Rasmus Sandin layering king, and like his dad liked the tweet, and I was like, yes.
His dad name searches for Rasmus, which is really cute, actually. So I tweeted something when him and Willie and like Alex and a few of their other European friends were like at Lollapalooza. Rasmus a few weeks or months later or something like posted a new picture of him from Lollapalooza. I almost said Palooza. Rasmus Palooza. So I posted it was like Rasmus Sandin stuns in new festival selfie, and he liked it, and I was like, I love you, Patrick Sandin.
Because you know who else name searches? Dennis Hildeby's mom.
Dennis Hildeby's mom followed me on Twitter. I am mutuals.
Hi, Dennis Hildeby's mom. I hope you're listening.
And every so often, she'll just like one of my tweets, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's bestie.
So sweet.
That's oomph.
That's oomph."
Speaking of apparent oomphs, Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews have a McDonald's partnership now. And
let me pull up the menu.
You will not catch me dead walking into a McDonald's in Ottawa, Ontario, going, yeah, I'll have a smoky quarter poppy, please.
You gotta order it on those big screens so that no one talks to you.
Yeah.
So, the menu consists of, it is 8 different items. It's called the Showdown menu. We have the Big Mac David, double Big Mac.
I'm sorry, I can't take any of these seriously.
The
Apologies
Smoky
to
Quarter
McDonald's marketing
Poppy.
department, but like...
The Smoky Quarter Poppy Smoky Barbecue Quarter Pounder. The Double Smoky Quarter Poppy. It's a double quarter pounder.
In case you want him to score 2 goals.
Then we have the Hat Trick. It's a triple cheeseburger. My personal favorite, and one that I'll probably try, is the Spicy Junior Chirpy. It's a spicy buffalo junior chicken. And then also the Power Play Poutine, which I enjoy because it's a spicy maple bacon poutine.
I don't know if I can trust a poutine from McDonald's though.
It's not
I'm very
that bad.
picky and selective. Is it not?
That would make sense.
I don't know. I thought
sometimes it's fine and sometimes it's the worst thing you've ever eaten. The fries aren't poutine fries, and that's what makes it weird.
I was gonna say they're really thin fries. Like, I have a place I go to in Ottawa. Shout out. And then they have 2.
They have 2 Selly sundaes, which are just like a vanilla sundae with either caramel or fudge, and a mysterious sprinkle. Don't know what the sprinkles are. It's mysterious.
And like the Leafs power play, it is a toss-up on whether the ice cream machines will actually work.
Yeah. So they're saying the Showdown menu is inspired by the greats. Score big with 6 hockey-inspired options. This reminds me of when I went to Wendy's earlier this year, and I was using like their Coke Freestyle machine, because why not? I got a fountain drink.
Those are fun.
It's the only option, and they had an entire selection of hockey-themed Coke products. That were like random mixtures of things, but it was like a Coke cherry lime, and I was like, I am stressed, and just like got my usual like sparkling water. I was like, ah.
Oh dear.
I do think though that like we do for the like to talk about this partnership, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, which was 2 days ago, in which Connor McDavid's Twitter became active for the first time in like many months.
Oh my god.
And everyone thought he got hacked, and I was like, no. If he got hacked, it would not be, if you hacked Connor McDavid's Twitter, it would not be to tweet out at Austin Matthews. Let's be
I'd be tweeting at Dylan Strome instead. It would be funnier. It would set off like half of the Twitter users.
I just tweet out my McStrom edit specifically.
But like,
type Dylan Strome and log out.
That was a horrific sentence, and I can only imagine.
The tweet from this was more. Time isn't real. This was 5 days ago. I don't know why I thought this was.
I thought it was one each day, and then they released it today. Like, what?
No, it was 5 days ago, and it says, it's, by the way, I should note it says period at AM34, which means like it's not going to show up as a reply. It's actually going to show up as like an actual tweet, which is something only a social media manager or someone who is chronically online like us would know, and not Connor McDavid. So it says period at AM34, crossbar and in, comma, let's see it. And everyone was like, was he hacked? And this, I will say, kind of sent the Offside work chat into a frenzy, because everyone was like, what is going on? What is this? And I will say, I was very quick to point out and use my communications degree to good use, which is, nice, and say, no, this is a social thing. This is a PR thing. I don't know what for.
There's no way in hell this is
real. It involves Austin Matthews. In which then Austin Matthews, very not active Twitter at all, that last was used in September to retweet like Uber Canada tweets when like,
because he's sponsored by Uber.
Yeah. Hit him with the 4. When Hit Him with the 4 shows up in like an Uber Eats commercial.
Banger commercial.
Banger.
You can
And
order
then it
almost
says-
anything. Not Austin though.
Yeah. Or Avril Lavigne either.
Yeah,
You gotten those
they keep getting
commercials?
weirder. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, David
Um,
Camp on a penalty for hooking.
Can you stop doing that? Because he did that last game and it was annoying. So Austin Matthews then tweets out a day later at CMC McDavid 97. Bet you can't hit a billboard from 50 feet. And everyone was like, okay, what's this? And then McDonald's Canada was like, hey, yo, we've got something between these two coming soon. And everyone was like, dope. All right.
Sure.
And then they posted like the commercial. And I want to like laugh though, because first of all, these two men cannot act to save their lives.
Oh my god. It's so bad.
They cannot read lines.
Nope.
At all.
Did you guys see like the fake press release that came with it?
There was a fake press release?
So it might have been real, it might have been fake. And by that I mean they just made up lines of what they were going to tell each of their guys to say. And each of them like theoretically said these sentences, but they say in a release, which means they didn't say them verbally. They just said them in some form. Bri actually posted this, and it posted a meme that was like how South Park characters would ask if you reacted to their pronouns. I use any pronouns, thank you for asking. It says he would not fucking say that. So the line from McDavid, I can't think of a better lineup. Canada's favorite game and a classic taste, McDavid said in a release, and the Big Mac David is headed all the way to the finals. What? The
It's
second
like, I'm
one.
sorry. You expect me to believe Connor McFucking Cardboard said that?
Connor Cardboard. Yeah. Because then
Austin
follows
someone who
up.
has a list of McDavid nicknames. Add Connor McCardboard.
No,
Oh my
that
God.
ever
It's a
since
banger.
I said that on New Year's Eve / very early on New Year's Day. I've not been able to refer to Connor McDavid as anything but Connor McFucking Cardboard. And I think it's my greatest contribution to society.
Oh my God, yeah. Because Austin's isn't any better. Because like Austin's response to things like when he's in media is dry. Like he's very dry. Like he doesn't use fun words.
Sassy.
He's sassy. He's sassy and like dry, witty humor.
Yeah.
Connor is a force on the ice, but I can bring the heat for sure, Matthews says in a press release. As this friendly rivalry heads out of the rink and onto the menu, the smoky quarter puppy isn't afraid of a little extra sauce and is ready to bring big flavor.
That reads like a really bad fan fiction that's going in a direction that no one wants. Like, it feels like we're about to witness something
You throw
horrific.
your hair into a messy bun. Your mom calls you downstairs, and you're like, "What, Mom?" And she's like, "I've sold you to a group so I can pay for my drinking problem." And the group is Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews.
Don't you mean Big Mac David and Smoky Quarter Pappy? This is worse than when Wendy's put out the Krabby Patty. Like, this is worse than the Grinch meal. Because the Grinch meal was actually appetizing. It made me sauce.
I'm sorry. Like, this is not inspiring me to go to McDonald's, because for me to go to McDonald's, I have to walk like 30 minutes to my closest McDonald's ever since they got rid of the McDonald's on Rideau Street. R.I.P. Rideau McDonald's.
R.I.P. Rideau McDonald's is the only McDonald's I know in all of Ottawa area.
Not anymore.
But yeah, R.I.P. Rideau. So now I have to walk 30 minutes, and like, if the names weren't so cheesy or anything, I maybe would have considered doing like a fun little content, like when I tried the Austin Prime drink on the podcast.
Oh, what a time! What a time!
And I was like, this is gross. I'm never drinking this.
It's
and then
so
it sat like half full on my desk for like 2 months afterwards, because I like didn't know what to do with it, because I felt bad dumping it out. But also like, I didn't want to finish it because it was gross.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is the new bottle of it a new flavor, or is it just equally as bad? And I don't want to try it because the last one like upset my stomach so bad that it was like not the same for like 3 days. Like I drank a whole bottle of it and went, oh,
I remember
Logan
Austin
Paul, what have you
Matthews
done
nearly
to me?
killed you.
I remember because it made you
This shit
sick,
is not
and you were like,
FDA approved.
and it lined up. All of the Leafs were sick too.
You like made yourself sick with the Leafs. They all tried the Prime and they all died.
But yeah, I don't, but like I was like, oh, maybe I'll go to McDonald's and I'll order whatever. And then I like looked at I saw like the names of this and I was like, absolutely not. Will I be doing this with a straight like I cannot
The
go
Junior
to a
Chirpy
McDonald's in
looks
Ottawa.
good. The Junior Chirpy, bro.
I will say though, what's really funny about this whole thing is that they like we learned from the Amazon Prime like the Face Off whatever series,
Yeah.
not to be confused with All or Nothing, that Connor McDavid does not like ketchup. They put him in the
True.
ketchup jersey. And I just know there is some hockey fan in the McDonald's Canada's marketing office who like watched that Prime series and like watched Connor McDavid go, I'm afraid of ketchup. I don't think that's exactly what he said. I never got that far. I like stopped
Me
right
either.
before the Quinn Hughes episode.
I stopped after the
because
Willie
that's,
episode.
like-
It was episode 1.
I only got that far into it because that's how much time I had to kill before I had to go to class, and then I left for class and I never finished it.
I think I was ill when it came out because I binged the entire thing in one sitting and then messaged Emma and I was like, I've just finished it.
Yeah, and I was like, I haven't had a chance to start watching it yet, and I was like, I don't need to watch. It very obviously was not made for us, and like,
Yeah.
anyways. We've already talked about that series, but like, and then they put Connor McDavid in the ketchup jersey. I think that's hilarious. Or maybe he's like he's contractually obligated to not show it up in like any other colors besides like Oilers colors or Canada red and white. I don't know.
That could be possible.
Because like, didn't he have like a biosteel, like a body armor? Like, he has a bunch of partnerships. He's Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Connor McDavid.
I'm convinced it's just like Lauren sets them up and then he just shows up and she takes pictures of him and then they profit.
That is exactly
like the Aloe sponsorship.
Oh, the Aloe
the Aloe one is all
incredible.
But actually, it could be a contract thing where like he has to either be seen in Oilers colors or Canada red and white, or he like purposely chooses to like partner with companies in which their logo is red and white because like why is he in like a BetMGM like intro thing where he's in like a blue suit, or like he's in a BioSteel ad and he's in like a red jersey, or he's in a CCM ad and he's in like a black and red hoodie, or he's in like a body armor, which I'm convinced body armor is just rebottled BioSteel.
Yeah,
because
Casey will defend
and
body armor if you ask her about it. She likes it.
I don't know. I've never
Casey,
tried
this
it.
one's for you. Shout out to a real one.
Shout out to a real one, Casey. I just like but like in the body, he's in like a black jersey and the body armor logo is red. So maybe he's maybe he is like obligated to like.
It's not impossible.
I don't know, but like, I do think like no, it makes sense that it's Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews when you think about how it's like a Canada thing and it's McDonald's Canada, blah 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 blah,
yeah,
hockey, whatever. But I do think it's really funny that this comes after Leon Draisaitl and Mitch Marner both doing Bet3. Is it Bet365? Bet whatever. Which the one of the betting one, the orange one. You can tell that I do not bet sports that I do not know.
Sports interaction.
Sports interaction. There we go. But like, do you think
That's really funny, actually. I wonder. They got jealous.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Lot to
Anyways,
say.
in looking for, I just want, unrelated to any of this, but like in looking up Connor McDavid's Instagram, I think I came across Connor Brown's burner. He's not hiding it very well. It's CT Brown 28, and the profile picture is a picture of him and his wife.
My God.
In Cape Town, because I've been there.
Is it a private account?
Yeah, it's private. And then he has his own personal one that is verified, that is DT Brown 28, and like is him.
That's so silly.
And stuff. Yeah.
My
Weird.
God. Like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna have a burner, you've got to go like big horny or nothing. I'm sorry. You have to commit.
I mean, yeah.
Oh.
Goodness. Oh.
Also, okay, so totally switching directions from the Leafs.
Oh boy.
It is official. The NHL Winter Classic is coming to South Florida. Per source, the Florida Panthers will host the 2026 Winter Classic at Lone Depot Park in Miami, which is where the Marlins play. That's via David Dwork.
It'll be so wintry.
Yeah, the Winter Classic.
I'm sad that it's being hosted in Miami and not in Tampa. And that is my official stance on the matter as a Tampa fan.
I think they're getting
but
both.
They did just get... Well, because they did just get hit with a massive fucking hurricane that did destroy Tropicana Field and made it really...
Sorry, I really hate Tropicana.
No! No, I've driven past her. She was beautiful. Her roof is fucked now. So, like...
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
Joe Wall just got hit in the mask and his, like, little strap popped off.
Again?
He's okay, though.
Okay, good.
Sorry,
I think it's a replay.
Keeps happening to him.
Poor guy. Sorry, got distracted by Joe Wall, as per usual.
Shocker.
I have mixed feelings on winter classics happening in Florida. I wish they would do it as a stadium series. Like, I just wish it was the stadium series brand and not the Winter Classic. Also, what the fuck happened to the Heritage Classic?
No,
where did it go?
We got the one between Edmonton and Calgary, where we got really cool jerseys. Arguably some of the best outdoor jerseys since.
When will Leafs get game again, please? Beg. I'm begging.
Please.
They've had 4.
Gary,
like, that's the thing. Is
Gary,
people will be like, well,
in.
they've had 4. But, like, forget, when will, and I hate to give this to Habs fans, but, like, when will Montreal get an outdoor game again?
See, what I want is, like, a Habs Leafs one. I think that would be incredible. Yeah. I think it would just be great.
And that would do so well. And this is where I go, where it would do so well in Canadian markets. And unfortunately, the NHL, like, doesn't care.
Yeah. Because what I really want is for them to do a Habs and Leafs one and then to put it in somewhere that's, like, Quebec City. Like, make it somewhere, like, cool that doesn't have hockey. And, like, what I mean is when I say not doesn't have hockey, but, like, doesn't have NHL hockey. Like, I don't think you could put it somewhere, like, Atlantic Canadian, but I think you could put it somewhere, like, you could put it in Saskatchewan and have, like, a Calgary or Edmonton one with the Jets. Like, that would be cool. Like, something in Saskatchewan, something in Quebec City, something where there are hockey fans who will not, like, switch to another team if you put another team in their city. Like, that's why they're not expanding hockey markets to those places right now, is because, like, you're not building new fans, you're just changing the teams of existing fans. So, like, bringing those, like, the fans to something in that area, those are fans who aren't buying tickets. Those fans are not getting tickets to hockey games on a regular basis. You're going to make money off of them if you get something new.
Yeah, and it's also as well as, like, I think about, like, in the way of how like where I am divided with the outdoor games is they've kind of lost the novelty, and that's because there's like too many of them.
There's like 2 a year.
Well, there's been more than that too. Like last year there was last season, I should say, there was 4. Because there was Edmonton, Calgary, which was the Heritage Classic. There was the Winter Classic, which was Seattle, Vegas. And then
I forgot about that one.
and then there was 2 Stadium Series games.
Yeah.
And like from a fan, like if I've never been to an outdoor game, so like I wouldn't know what it is from like an in-person like fan experience from like actually being there at the game. But from like a TV perspective, it's worse. It's a worse viewing experience because the lighting is inconsistent. The camera angles, you're out wider because you're having to like you can't be like right on the boards because that like camera infrastructure, like it just doesn't exist. You have to like the camera angles are out wider. The lighting sucks. There's terrible shadows. And like sometimes when you're battling the weather, like this year's Winter Classic. First of all, I don't know why they had it on New Year's Eve and not New Year's Day. And instead on New Year's Day, they did Devils and Kings as your only New Year's Day game.
So
and it was just like a regular game.
It makes me so mad.
Like even my mum asked because she was like
like
my mum
it's usually at like 1 p.m. too.
Yeah.
And you guys
so my
mum
asked and she was like, "Oh, is there no like the outdoor game, is that not on today?" And I was like, "No, that was last night between 2 teams I genuinely, in the nicest of possible, do not give a flying fuck about."
And like I get it, you want to have it, like having it at Wrigley is cool, so then you have to have Chicago play by nature. But like, and I understand there's a really long-standing historical rivalry between Chicago and St. Louis, but like you couldn't have picked like an actually like a good team.
That's the thing, like, is like
also as well
it's
as, like,
making it interesting for viewers.
Yeah, and like also as well as like I understand you're gonna be like, oh well, like Connor Bedard, and you marketed the hell out of that, and like there was all this then really themed promoing with like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which I love, favorite movie of all time, posters on my wall.
Way.
When he did that like that photo shoot for Chicago Mag, and it was him in the Chicago Art Institute. I was having a field day with it. I loved that whole. I was like, oh my god, they finally did it! Like they did the little bit that I've been wanting them to do. But it like, and yeah, you can market the Wonder Kid all you want, but like also Chicago, like I feel like this would have been such a good game for them to do in like 2-3 years when like Chicago's a better team. And like you can market the Wonder Kid and then the team actually has a chance of winning because like they're also good and it's not just like a bunch of like former Leafs rejects. And like because there's so many former Leafs on that team. And we talked about it when like the lead that there's too many. I should not be able to look at a roster and go, I recognize most of these names. And not because I'm a fan of the team. No, because they used to play for a team I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I just like I don't think you could have put St. Louis isn't good and Chicago sucks at outdoor games. I mean, Cody, our Chicago beat reporter here at Offside, mentioned it and he was like, yeah, they haven't won a game. They haven't won an outdoor game. They're 0-5. So like they lost again. I don't know. I just like I think they're just there's not any more novelty to them because there's so many of them. And also, like, as much as I love giving and marketing to the, like, Florida fan base, I think that's, like, you know, you can grow. There's other ways to spend that money in Florida where you can grow the sport and, like, not have it be an outdoor game that no one's ever given me, like, a solution. Like, if someone from the NHL could, like, sit down and, like, be like, here's exactly how we're going to guarantee that this is not going to be Lake Tahoe 2.0 and there's not going to be a crazy delay or we're not going to have to cancel the game or anything like that. Because there's going to be fans there this time. Like compared to Lake Tahoe where like they had to delay the game for like postpone most of the game for 8 hours because the ice fell apart. At least there was no fans, so you were just like screwing over the TV broadcasters. Like at least but you're going to have, 70,000 fans there, or whatever, how many fit there in that park? Like, what are you going to do if you, like, the ice falls apart because you're playing in Miami in January?
Like, it's colder in January, but it's not that cold, guys.
No,
it's fucking Florida. Also, if it's sunny
it's
that
Florida.
day,
oh, and you're like screwed either way, because for those who don't watch baseball and have no familiarity with Lone Depot Park, it does have a retractable roof, in the way of the roof like fully slides off the top, so it can be totally open air, but also,
but, like, what's the point
so you
if
could
you have to cover it up? It's
not an outdoor game anymore, and so you could, like, create the ice with the roof, like, essentially create a fridge, super freeze the diamond with the roof closed, and then open it just for game time. But the entire wall in the outfield that, like, faces the outside, like that back wall in the outfield, is a wall of windows.
Oh. Nice. I love concentrated sunlight directly on my ice.
Also,
yeah, I've heard it works wonders.
It rained in Chicago at the Winter Classic this year. That's Chicago. What is Florida most notably known for during the winter consistently?
I love rain.
Rain! Like, unless someone from the NHL can sit down, maybe Gary Bettman himself can sit me down and be like, this is how we're going to guarantee that a game is going to happen on time. I don't love it. And not in a way of, like, hockey doesn't belong in Florida, in a way of, like, you're going to waste so much money, and you're going to piss your broadcasters off. You're going to piss your fans off. And, like, that's money that you can spend on other things.
I want another Winter Classic, like the very first one, like, of its sort, when it was, like, little baby Sidney Crosby, 2008. It's snowing. They're at the Buffalo Bills Stadium in Buffalo, New York, playing against the Buffalo Sabres, who are equally as bad as they are now, just in 2008. And it's just like, they've got cute little retro jerseys on. The goalies are wearing little hats. It's snowing. There's snow on the ground. And it's, like, part of the whole Buffalo Bills tradition to, like, dig your seat out of the snow. Like, some of that is just, like, so much more. This is a winter hockey game, and I'm gonna go watch a junior league hockey game out in the, like, on the pond. Like, that's kind of what they were starting to go with the Winter Classics. And then, like, if you call that a Winter Classic, winter is a figment of Floridians' imaginations. Like, my friends from Florida come up here and are like, you guys have seasons? And I'm like, yes. The weather changes, and it's not just is it sunny or is it rainy? Like, the weather changes, and it's like, I've experienced all 4 seasons in a day. Welcome to Canada. So, like, to call it a Winter Classic and not a stadium series, I think it's just, like, weird.
It's one of those things where, like, I saw that and I was like, okay, but, like, and my immediate first thought was, like, thinking of Lake Tahoe, because that was, I think, such an embarrassment for the league. Because, like, what do you mean you put all this work into, like, hosting an outdoor game, and you do it in Lake Tahoe, and then you have to delay the game after the first period for 8 hours because your ice melted?
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone has to tell me.
Stupid. I love hockey in Florida. I love having 2 NHL teams in Florida. I think it's super important to growing the game. I think it's super cool. I think both of those teams do really great jobs at having really cool, like, individual team vibes. I think putting a Winter Classic there is weird. I think it's tough to do an outdoor game in Florida. I think that's something that just has to be understood. Also, global warming is not making it easier to do outdoor games in, like, the hottest place ever. What's next? Arizona. Welcome back, Arizona Coyotes. We're having an outdoor game in Arizona.
Like, also as well is like where I want, like, it's, you know, like we said, like outdoor games have lost the novelty and like what floor, like how hockey in the South is so important, but like also it's so important because it's special and it's like unique and it's its own thing. And by giving it a winter classic, you're kind of taking away the individuality of hockey in the South, because it used to be like it's like very much like a when you think winter classic, you think, oh yeah, like hockey on the pond, winter, snow, cold weather, all the things, whereas like you don't really match that with Florida.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we would have to come up with an entirely new concept in order to make it like new, marketable, fun, and like make sense. Because Stadium Series, you can call it a Stadium Series all you want. It's still an outdoor game. It's like you almost need to have like sun hockey. Like you have to come up with something new for it to be marketable and for it to make sense. Like the big thing here is like logistically it's going to be extremely difficult, but on top of that it's like your marketing also has to change, because winter in Florida is not winter as the majority of hockey fans know it. It's winter as Floridian hockey fans know it, but it's not winter as the greater league imagines winter.
I don't, it also as well as like you maybe then can create a whole new thing where it's like, okay, so there's all these really cool arenas or stadiums or whatever that don't get used by the NHL because they get used by other sports or whatever, and they're indoor, like they're fully indoor, like wherever the LA football, like NFL teams play, like you could put a hockey rink in there and that would be cool.
God,
they're like
SoFi Stadium,
giant, with the giant like fuck ass like
that is my era
it's like huge.
The Jumbotron is like, it literally is like its own row of seating is what it looks like. It like floats above everything. Like that would be the SoFi Stadium, and like LA Kings, Edmonton Oilers, like that could go crazy. Gary Bettman, call me up. I'm doing your job better than you, and I have for years.
And like you can create a whole thing where it's like stadiums that have like, or like arenas or things like that, because like Videotron in Quebec City as well, like that is a fairly new arena that gets used by a Q team, and they don't fill it because it's the like, and like that's, I think, kind of what
that's how I feel about the Mooseheads sometimes, where it's like the Halifax Mooseheads play in the arena that's like the size of an AHL arena. But like it's too small for the NHL, because I saw like an NHL preseason game there and everyone was like, I'm gonna gnaw my own leg off if I don't get a ticket to this game. So like some other alternative that's like just finding other places to host games that, like, you know, when they take the NHL overseas and they do games in Europe, like those are really cool, but also finding different places, like the PWHL taking like their, you know, the series on the road.
The takeover tour.
Yeah, like
That's
kind of
so
craft
fun.
Hockeyville type vibes, except like you don't have to go to the smallest place on earth to make something special, or you don't have to do something massive to make something special. Like I just want, you know, NHL hockey to happen in the Maritimes more than once. I would like NHL hockey to happen in like different northern parts. That would be really cool. NHL hockey in like states that don't have NHL teams, or are like actively looking to have NHL teams. Casey would kill me if I didn't say hockey in Saskatchewan. I think an NHL game in Saskatchewan would be freaking sick. So like many of these places that are just like underserved, they don't necessarily need like bells and whistles, but just having the option to like do a game on the road that's like a true game on the road where both teams are the away team. It could be cool.
What I always think about is like the way of, I think this is kind of where the NHL goes wrong with their marketing, is like, and some of this is like Gary Bettman being an idiot, but like, is they so focus on, okay, where can we get, like, everyone talks about hockey non-traditional markets. I think like more so also as well, the focus just needs to be like NHL hockey in markets that don't have NHL hockey, which is not the same as hockey in like NHL markets, where like Gary Bettman in the NHL like is so focused on marketing to the States, which is true. That's where you make a lot of money. But like forgetting that, okay, but like just because you can bring hockey to Atlanta or like Utah or whatever, it doesn't make, where there is, hockey fans and stuff, it doesn't mean that you also can't bring it to places like Saskatchewan or the Maritimes where like the hockey fans are there because it's Canada, but like the NHL hockey is not. And you can like very much get games there, and you can sell out games there because everyone there is a hockey fan. So you have like the built-in market. They just don't have the product, and you can provide the product and have it do really, really well. And you don't have to spend a lot of money on marketing or doing the work to like teach people about the sport because they already know about it.
These
and it
places
kind of
don't
plays
even
in.
Yeah, they don't need their own teams either. Like it's as much as I would love there to be like an NHL team in every single province and territory in Canada, that's not gonna happen. So like creating an option for like you provide a product, teams play game there, and it's not a preseason game, because I'm tired of seeing preseason games where I get to see the B team and it's like the AHL signings of like the Ottawa Senators versus Sidney Crosby, and then Sidney Crosby loses. So like I would
like,
just like to see some normal ass hockey in my hometown.
I would like to apologize because like I cover the Ottawa Senators for Offside, and every week they call up some guy from Belleville that I've never heard of. And I went, this guy's a real person that the Ottawa Senators have in their system. And I'm supposed to believe you that you didn't create him or are making him up?
That literally is like every guy on the Ottawa Senators, though. Like, what the fuck is a dude with the last name Zub? Like,
Artem Zub. Look, he's all unfortunately the top. He's unfortunately they're like top pair defenseman to be paired with Jake Sanderson because he's the only option that works because Travis Hamonic is that bad at playing hockey. But
you
now
have secondary Kachuk and a guy named Zub. You have penultimate Kachuk because he has another sister.
We have middle child Kachuk.
He doesn't have a first name anymore.
We have middle child Kachuk, who is a dad, because sure, why not?
Jesus.
And we have Zub, which, by the way, I should add that every time he does well, the crowd goes Zub, and it sounds like they're booing. In the same way where, like, Jack Campbell makes a save and everyone would go Soup.
Fuck yeah. I love when that happens.
But, like,
I love that
we
vibe.
also have Josh Norris. I say we as if I don't actively, like, complain about this team every single day.
You also have Drake Batherson. Famous Nova Scotian Drake Batherson.
Yeah.
If there's one thing
Nick
about
Cousins.
me, I do know Nova Scotian hockey players.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm like trying to think of like any like news in the NHL that's happened, and all I can think of like is just congratulations to the US for winning World Juniors again. I don't say that with a lot of joy.
Congratulations to Team Sweden on placing 4th. Congratulations to Team Canada on placing 5th.
Again, after they lost to Czechia.
I want people to shut up about Team Canada. They're actually just little guys. Please stop being angry at 18-year-olds. Like, it's really sad. It's
why
they're just everybody's so mean. Oh my god, did two of the Philadelphia Flyers just ran into one another, and Mishkov is bleeding.
Is
he okay? He's so
they killed the child.
Oh my god, Scott Lawton's just like face down on the ice.
Oh no, Scott!
Oh, they truly ran into each other. Please show me a replay. Oh my god, he's still on the ice with Michkov's blood on his shoulder. Oh, they're both going to a dark room. I think they ran into each other head first. Oh, they're getting up real slow.
Oh.
Come on, Scotty, you can do it.
Oh dear.
The trainer's like, we've got some cookies in the back room for you, bud. Oh my god, they're just patching up Michkov. Okay. What is this? What happened here? Oh my god. Yeah, they truly just like collided headfirst into one another. Oh my god.
I could hear.
Oh my god, they bonked heads.
I'm just.
They truly bonked heads. And then Patches trips over Lawton and Michkov like runs into his leg. Like that's so funny. Guys, heads up plays.
Oh,
Torts
I
is gonna be
watched that
yelling about heads
happen,
up.
and I could
Oh.
like hear the echo of the two empty skulls.
Michkov ran into Patches'
Dong.
ass. Oh, so sorry to distract. That was necessary.
I mean, I feel like we didn't have anything else to add, so we might as well end it here before we end up just giving an entire play-by-play of tonight's game. I mean, I guess then we don't
True.
really have to talk about tonight's game actually, maybe we should, because they don't play again before Thursday, so we'll have to talk about this game again, or we'll have absolutely nothing to talk about in Thursday's episode.
You've got
Yay!
1940 left of the third, so you can end it here.
Yeah, we'll end it here. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, you will be able to find Randy wherever you can find Randy in the show notes, as always. Same place.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Also, Offside, yeah. You can find them on all social platforms at Offside News Co. Or read all of the articles, including Randy's Leafs recaps that went up yesterday, right?
Yeah, they go up
Was it
Mondays.
Yes,
Typically
Mondays.
Mondays, it's
A true
Easter,
delight.
give or take. Sometimes on a Sunday. Sometimes I skip a week. I'm busy. You're busy. Read them when you can.
Busy. At offsidenewsco.com. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow the show on Twitter to never miss another episode at From the Fourth Line. It's fourth with the number 4 TH. You can also follow Marcie and I on Twitter because we're really funny over there. Randy can concur.
I'm vouching.
Sorry,
At 6
I've just bitten the fin off my shark, and I don't know where it's gone.
What a great.
At 6 Leafs for Marcie, at Therapy 1 for myself. You'll get that's where you can find more of Marcie's content over there on Twitter, eh? Thank you guys so much for listening. Randy, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back on Thursday without Randy, unfortunately, to talk about the Leafs and some other things. But yeah, all right. Thanks, guys.